feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. When it's sink or swim, only option is to win. In the murky water, not a thought of giving in.
Hey everybody, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. I'm your host, Ted Jenkins, sitting here today with my co-host, Chris Hanks, who's the executive director and founder of the Shore Center for Entrepreneurship, and soon-to-be assistant director, Joey Roos. I know I make him laugh when I say that. Of course, we are joined today by our CEO, Michael Gargiulo, who's the CEO of VPN.com. And as always, for those of you that want to grow your entrepreneurial skills, go to shrimptankpodcast.com. We have roughly 160 shows in the hopper there that you can listen to some of the brightest and best CEOs in and around the state of Georgia, and especially here growing in the city of Atlanta. We're in 7 cities across the United States right now, and entrepreneurship is exploding across America, so you ought to check that out, download us on iTunes. Now, Michael, we talked on the show today, and there's a lot of people, some of them that are older that remember a VPN, and some of them that are younger that they've never even heard of a VPN. So for those that are watching the post-show wrap-up, just what is a VPN?
Yeah, so a VPN it's an app that encrypts your internet connection. So businesses and governments have used them for decades, and that same level of security and privacy is now being demanded at the consumer level with Facebook, Equifax, all these things that are going on. People are becoming aware of their privacy really for the first time, and a VPN is a critical component of protecting that outside the workplace, inside the workplace, outside the home, on the road. VPNs bring a lot of value to protecting your information and your identity.
So there's so much that's talked about during that industry. What's your take on is sort of the future of the VPN industry?
So right now, the VPN industry is about $30 to $40 billion in aggregate. I would say over the next 5 years, that's probably going to double, if not triple. I would say before we're into 2030, it's going to be $150 billion industry, and that's because twofold. One, what's happening on the business side of things. So all of the threats and everything that goes on. I mean, it's a virtual private network. So the underlying technology might change, but that privacy and security that it gives you, the demand for that won't. So everything that's going on with cyber, there's a lot of demand for security right now. And VPNs are a critical component to how businesses protect themselves. And then that same level of privacy and security is being demanded in droves at a rate that's never been seen before across the globe. There's 16 million searches a month right now for VPN, and I would say in the next decade that will be north of 50. So lots of demand on the way.
Yeah. Michael, we talked on the show about how you were actually one of Chris's pupils at UGA way back before he came to Kennesaw State to found the Entrepreneurship Center. So to kind of throw back to your experience there, what was maybe one of the biggest takeaways that you gained from Chris's class?
Probably the biggest thing, I did 2 separate business plans in his class, and I think writing out your vision is one of the most helpful and influential components of becoming an entrepreneur ever. And Chris was definitely a catalyst at that. Before in my entrepreneur career, I just kind of went off of what was in my brain, and that works to a point. But when you start moving, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, it's very important, not just for you, but your stakeholders, your employees, your direction and vision to write that down. And it's going to change. It's going to be obsolete the moment it's done. But getting that on paper and articulating your vision via writing is probably one of the most helpful things. I had the business plan that I did for Chris's class, but that was very important. Actually, the company that I did the business plan for was transformed into what VPN.com is today. So, Chris, I owe you a couple thank yous.
I thought, Chris, he was going to say he learned 80s movies quotes, but he didn't.
I did do that, too. I did.
He didn't say that.
He kept things entertaining.
Now, you share with us, Michael, on the show today, and I think for people watching this, take note of what we're going to talk about right now, which is that he spent $1 million to basically buy the website VPN.com. And no matter what people look at when they start sometimes and they want to get a domain and the domain says it's a premium domain and it might cost more than the $9.99, when is it worth it for somebody out there to invest the money in that virtual dirt in their business?
Yeah, so I mean, your domain is your address, right? Apps are fading quickly in terms of how customers come into your business. Everything is about how people come to your business. If you have an easy URL, it makes it easier for customers to come to you. And buying a premium.com, don't pay a lot of money for anything that's not a .com, but buying a premium.com can likely be the best decision that you will make, especially if that domain is an exact match description of the product that you're selling or the keyword that people are searching for. The authority that you create instantly in your business when you have a exact match domain is incredible, because now people perceive you as VPN.com versus Mike's Nice VPN.com or something to the effect that isn't VPN.com. So people perceive you in the marketplace differently. Your competitors, your shareholders, your employees, everybody perceives you differently, all and only because of your name. So $1 million investment, a couple of years ago when we bought it is already paying dividends. I mean, we've got four offers right now to buy the name from VPN providers in the space, 2 from people outside the VPN space. Wow. And it's not because of our product, it's because of our name. So the digital real estate is kind of the real estate of the 21st century, and buying a great domain can be a very big difference maker.
You said in the show that somewhere around 99% of the real searches are still .com, not .info, .biz, .us. That's true?
99 out of the Fortune 100 companies out there use .com. I mean, Facebook, Google, CNN, Fox. I mean, all the big names out there, it's .com. So trying to be a .io or a .org and thinking you're cute and saving money, you're discounting your brand and your location, and that has an impact. It might be cheaper now, but your brand's going to be cheaper later. And where you plant your flag and invest your monies and the real estate you buy can make a big difference, not only now, but more so down the road.
Well, thanks so much for coming on the broadcast today. It's actually great. Chris has tuteled so many people in the state. So much tutelage is given to people to see.
Tutelage.
Someone, is that not the right word?
That is the right word.
We
like
tutelage all day.
Chris, I still have a few SAT words in my vocabulary here. But for those folks that want to get in touch with you, Michael, learn more about your business and learn about VPN.com, how can they learn more about you and the company?
Absolutely. So if you want to know what a VPN is, VPN.com. If you'd like to know more about me, I have a LinkedIn. We have a lot of press on the top right of our website. If you'd like to work with the most respected name in cybersecurity, go to VPN.com, click on sponsor. In the top right corner, we've got 2 large sponsors already in the works, coming down the pipe for about $250,000 each. So if cybersecurity and privacy is important to you, give us a call and we'll help you out. But gentlemen, thank you so much for having me on the show today. I really appreciate it. Lee, thanks for taking care of us, and I look forward to watching the next shows that we've got lined up, Ted. So take us home.
And folks, I'll just tell you this, there's a couple things we learn in every one of these shows, but we know here that entrepreneurship, age, there's no boundaries whatsoever. At 26 years old, Michael's built a multi-million-dollar company, and we know that entrepreneurship takes courage. How many of you, even if you had $1 million in your hand, would have the courage to plunk that down on one piece of dirt, in this case virtual dirt, and say, I can make this work? That's what it's all about, and it's why there's so many entrepreneurs that can be successful in so many ways. And that's your post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank.